Hey everybody, welcome to What the Flick. Grace, Alonso, it's Unreal Season 2, Episode 5, Insurgent. No, Infiltration. Why do I keep getting that wrong? Insurgent was Episode 2. Sorry. Infiltration. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So yeah, where it is clear that nobody cares about poor Darius's back.
No one cares about Darius's back. Darius doesn't really care about Darius's back. It almost felt like he forgot that he has an epidural.
Yes.
I thought they would bring it up a little bit more, and you saw a little bit of hesitation, but no one is addressing the fact that this is fake feeling fine. You're not fine, Darius.
Yeah, you're just not feeling, period.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
No, yeah, when she's jumping on the bed, I thought, no, don't jump on the bed.
Oh.
So, but he very wisely got out of that one.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, a lot of stuff going on here. The Ruby date.
This was a case of I should have known that they were going to break my heart. As soon as I started rooting for Ruby, as soon as we found out that she had real feelings for Darius, and then Darius had real feelings for her, you know it's not going to go the way it's planned.
I was kicking myself, and then I thought, oh God, Jay, you should know better. Why?
I know.
Like, it's bad enough that I'm falling for this, but you're inside this enough to know not to fall for this, and he totally fell for it, and that's why he sort of shares our chagrin and disappointment.
I also was very disappointed with Jay in this episode because he's been a part of this team for, we can assume, a long time.
Yeah.
At some point, we have to expect him to rise to the occasion a little bit more. I feel like Jay's character is always reacting and is a little bit timid, even though he is clearly just as cunning as his coworkers.
Yes.
He's just waiting for... He's waiting to step up, and I was hoping this would be the episode where he would step up, rescue his girl Ruby, really take things into his own hands, take charge, but he didn't. And now Ruby's gone.
Well, there's a lot of I expected better from you in this episode,
Yes.
because like you really think this is going to be maybe the moment where this is the first time that Rachel's really put to the test on the Quinn scale, and she buckles.
Right, in a very transparent way.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I liked how the writers did that because it was very much a choose.
Yeah.
I would have liked if it had been a little bit more
Nuanced.
discreet, a little bit more nuanced, but it worked for what they were trying to get across. Just who are you going to choose, Quinn or Coleman? And she, without much hesitation.
Caved in a second.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, as awful as Quinn can be, I think she's right about a lot of things. Like, Coleman is new to all this and, doesn't necessarily understand the niceties or the sort of narrative demands of a show like this the way that she does. And she's right, do you want the boring NPR thing or do you want, everlasting?
But, to Coleman's credit, I thought he made a really good point about what he said something, in 15 years, we're not going to know what broadcast is anymore. We need to be loud. We don't need to look for ratings.
Right.
And that's clearly what we're seeing is the difference between Coleman and Quinn. Quinn knows how to get this show amazing ratings. And Coleman is of the new generation where he's like, we shouldn't even care about that.
Yeah, exactly. It's sort of like it doesn't matter if anybody watches James Corden while it airs, as long as everybody posts that karaoke clip the next
thing,
day.
exactly, right.
No, you're right. And it's interesting to see. Is it? I'm going to butcher this name because it's Welsh. It's either Ian Griffith or Johan Griffith or something. Anyway, the rich guy who owns the network. He clearly is. We usually think of anybody on TV who's like super rich as somehow tied to the internet. But you're right, he's much more on board with Quinn's paradigm of how things work.
He's sort of an old executive. He loves the old version of the show, the classic version of the show. He's clearly the super fan. There's a weird romance that comes out between them.
But I can sort of see them as like shark meets shark,
and I also anything that the writers are doing to humanize Quinn a little bit more, or just to explain why she is the way she is, I really like.
Well, they certainly unpacked her dad issues in about 8 lines of dialogue.
Yeah, that was insane.
Throw it all in the house and put a match to it.
Yeah, so you have her dad issues, and then this was last week's episode, but you also see her processing that Chet stole his baby, and that Chet's never going to be the guy that she wants him to be. No. So now in this episode, potentially there could be new romance on the horizon, and I like that they gave that to her to explore. She deserves it.
Totally. Because certainly Rachel seems to have her choice of beaux, and
right. But I don't know if you agree, but I felt that Rachel was romantically not in the real world in this episode. She says something to Quinn about how, she's not going to be like Quinn because she's going to be with this guy that loves her and they're going to have an amazing show.
Yeah.
I'm like, have you and Coleman talked a little bit?
Yeah, how long have you known this guy?
How long do you guys know each other? Love? You're going to spend your life with him? Are you out of your mind?
I will say, and I think it's really smart of Lifetime because they are such a sort of female-centric network. I think for a lot of male-driven shows, male show-run shows, it would be very easy to turn Quinn into the bitter, hardworking spinster. And they even give her that line about work stuff. Work stuff is all we have. But at the same time, they can still sort of find her a dude, and at least whether or not she goes there, at least to sort of remind people, look, she is attractive and viable, and there is somebody out there who would be interested in what she's got.
Right, and even though we see her as all Quinn all the time, there are layers to this character that obviously we're going to be exploring in this season. And speaking of layers and dark layers to a character, I'm talking about Jeremy.
Jeremy,
oh
God.
my God.
That was fucked
I don't even like that he's sitting behind us right now. I don't like that he's back there.
It's creeping me out because I
hate him.
He seemed, he obviously they were hinting last season that he's not a good loser in the Rachel sweepstakes, But damn, I was not expecting that we were going to cross this line.
Yeah, it was not at all what I was expecting either. I thought that we had this moment where he's talking with Chet. He admits that he loves Rachel. I thought, okay, this is the watershed moment. He's going to profess his love to her. Maybe we'll have a love triangle. Who knows? That could work.
Or at least saying it out loud is the first step of getting past it.
Yeah, almost like this cathartic moment.
So he doesn't have to keep resenting her all the time.
Yeah.
He can be clear about where it is and then move on.
But no, that is not what happened. It feels like it awoke this beast within him, and the confrontation. I thought we were going to have a rape scene. That's how I thought the show was going to go.
Me too. But again, I think Lifetime is let's not for once go all the way there. And Chet, of all people, having this moment of no, that's not acceptable, and get out.
And I really liked that they had it be Chet and not Quinn or not Madison because
Coleman.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Or Coleman, the white knight saving the day. I like that it was Chet that's holding this other guy accountable because Chet was the one that came in this season. It's a man's world. You have to take back what's mine because I'm a man, and he makes the distinction no, Jeremy, you are not a man. That's
exactly.
Not being a man.
And for as many sort of cheap-ish laughs as this show has gotten this season about Chet's Iron John thing, I think in this episode they actually kind of found the better side of that, which is the stop bullshitting yourself, stop blaming other people, take responsibility, become self-sufficient, and so it showed the better side of what that kind of experience would have taught somebody or brought out in somebody, and not just the step aside, woman, this is my domain.
Right. It was very Gaston before.
Exactly, and all that stuff about my progeny and the line, his stuff with the baby, it's just bananas. But yeah, so again, this show just kind of keeps surprising you with stuff. This is a minor detail that I love, and I feel like pointing out because I don't think I've mentioned it before. Whoever composed the music cues for Everlasting is killing me. Those are so funny. Every time they do the fake kind of cut in with the host saying
yes.
tonight, and that little that music behind him is so on the nose, perfect parody of this kind of bullshit show. It makes me laugh.
Yeah, it is. That is really good. I'll have to listen to that a little bit more. But it is exactly. I'm a big fan of The Bachelor, Bachelorette. That is so. That they just mirrored it perfectly.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
I wanted to talk to you about Rachel's reaction to being hit by Jeremy. Yeah. Because I thought that was so interesting how her character dealt with it. Because she just says, I just need to change. She's very much, she just got hit in the face by a guy that she used to be in love with. He used to be in love with her. They had this really deep, profound connection. And he just hit her and, was raging against her. And she just kind of takes it as just another part of the day. I think that she almost felt like she deserved it. That's what I was wondering.
I think there's I think she operates in a lot of state of denial. I mean, yes, her mother is a little overboard as far as trying to diagnose and medicate her and stuff.
Right.
But I think there's a lot of stuff in Rachel's life that Rachel buries. Oh God, that was a weird Glee reference that I didn't mean to make. Anyway, but that Rachel doesn't want to deal with. And so I think this is just one of those things. It's like, okay, I'm just gonna, this did not happen. I'm gonna go, I'm gonna continue doing what I came in for and get back to work because, oh my God, I gotta work. This show has to be done, And, you know, it just becomes this other thing that gets tamped down. But I mean, I try not to do this, but I did see the clips from next week.
What do you know?
Shit's gonna explode a little, I think, and because everyone around her is realizing that this is a thing she needs to cope with. She should take some time off. She should do whatever. And she's like, no, back to work. Got to do it. Got to do it. And it's just gonna like not go well.
I would say even more than Quinn, Rachel absolutely compartmentalizes everything in her life. Quinn is a little bit more overt that what her priorities are. You know where her layers are, and with Rachel, you don't quite know.
Yeah.
You know.
And as Quinn says, you know, like she's going to be living in the back of her car and having cough syrup for breakfast or whatever. So yeah, I mean, Rachel has always been presented as someone who is not the stablest of people, and I could see where her reaction to something like this, rather than to sort of feel it in the moment and process it in the moment, whatever, would be like, that didn't happen. Let's carry on. I got a show to do. You know, I mean, because. Shit, wouldn't you have responded more if you found that your ex was shooting a picture of you with a gun?
Oh my God.
I mean, that's mega creepy.
Oh, I mean, I don't know what is going on with Jeremy. I hope he's gone though, because he is. He's not, I mean, he's the same character, but he's not the same character at all. You know, he's just taken a turn, and I don't think, in my mind, that he can ever get back to being likable again after what he's done.
No way, and I don't think Chet and Quinn would have him back either. Like that's just you just can't. You don't. You know. But Yael, hot Rachel.
Yep.
What is her deal?
Yeah.
I can't tell if she's just trying to is she trying to glom into the secrets of the show somehow?
I thought, and I said this in our last recap, I think she's up to something. I will speculate. I think she's maybe doing some sort of behind the scenes investigation for like a People magazine or something like that.
Could be.
There's something weird about.
Because she was trying to cozy up to Coleman, and Rachel shoos her away, and then it's Jeremy, and clearly with the interest of like, oh, Jeremy, tell me things.
Yeah, she's not interested in Jeremy because he's so hot with his beer gut this season. Like, it's not, you know what I mean?
The beer gut.
Or maybe he is. Maybe he is. But like, she's not going after him because this raw attraction.
Yeah, clearly there's another agenda afoot
for
here.
an agenda.
For sure.
So I guess it's left to be seen.
I did love the basketball player calling her out, although
Oh yeah.
she could have done it a little more delicately. I could see why Darius literally blew her off.
Yeah, and I was gonna say I like that Darius went a little bit rogue and was like, actually, I don't like either of you.
Yeah.
You know, you're both pretty bad.
Right.
You know?
But he kept hot Rachel and Ruby.
I will go on record. I don't think this is the end of Ruby. I think they had amazing chemistry, and they're setting it up that he had real feelings for her and opened up to her in a way that I don't think we will see him do to other contestants. Mm-hmm. I think something will happen with Ruby. I hope that she is not gone.
Yeah, it's interesting, and it's funny because it also the whole conversation that they have about how he hasn't done enough for the black community and stuff touches so much on OJ Made in America.
Yeah,
which I just watched. There's that
Major
whole thing
parallels.
about how the late '60s and how everybody else is doing the Black Power salute at the Olympics and stuff, and OJ's like, nope, I'm at USC and I'm doing my running and I'm good.
I'm just OJ. I'm not black. I'm not white. I'm just OJ.
Exactly.
And I can see Darius probably saying something very similar.
Absolutely, yeah.
He's just trying to be himself, and he doesn't realize the implications of anything he does.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, the show.
I know.
Oh my God. All right, we'll be back next week. Thanks for joining us.